2324. Damn Cam here with a little impromptu illicit damn talk. Illicit how? Well, we've been doing some self-reflection lately. A lot on maybe 13 to 23, in that age range. The formative years, if you will. It's interesting they call that the formative years, right? Because now as a father, somebody who has children of their own in their formative years, we can see it's like we're all little walking hard drives, right? We've got a central processing unit, we've got memories, RAM, if you will. And what does a computer have? Well, you format a computer, formative years. And somewhere along the way, our programming was faulty. That is, the software that we chose to download either was corrupted to begin with, was susceptible to corruption, had a virus, or maybe it was all right then and it just is outdated. It refused to update with the times. Essentially, it's probably not extremely easy to hear us now with the wind blowing through the damn window. The point that we're trying to make, though, isn't lost on the analog mindset. What we mean there is, it is 2024. I mean, 1924, it's only 100 years ago. There are people around today who were alive in 1924. And if you think about some of the things that were not available in 1924, it's pretty mind-baffling. Like, extremely. To know that some of the biggest luxuries, amenities, accommodations of today are pretty much taken for granted, at least by a wide assortment of people. And if we went back 100 years and offered any one of these things or experiences to any one of those people alive then. So artificial intelligence is now what the internet would be back to them in 1924. Now we've got AI, so we think, okay, 2124. Either one, 100 years, 110 years, it's not exactly important there, but what is important is the fact, not the prospect, but the fact that now AI is a reality. AI is, all right? That'll probably be the hashtag for this little spiel here is, hashtag AI is. It's not going to be unthought, okay? It's not going to be destroyed. It's not going to be put on pause because of a conscionable question by somebody who actually holds a position of authority, power, influence over the production of artificial intelligence. Now, we have a few companies that are really in the forefront. Interestingly enough, Elon Musk does come to mind when we think AI, and not for the reasons one might think. We have mixed opinions on Mr. Musk. Anybody who follows us, damn Cam here, by the way, and we realize you haven't seen a damn thing for I don't know how long. So thanks for staying with us, even though maybe you were staying with us because you weren't seeing my face. I apologize. Now I'm back. You have to look at this mug. No, I mean, it's all relative, but we're blessed. Yeah, so he had a beef. Mr. Musk had a beef with one of the top execs of Google, as well as, man, his name escapes me. Basically, this guy was like the godfather of artificial intelligence, close to Elon back in dorm days, if you will, and they had a difference of opinion to the extreme totality of pretty much polar opposite positions, whereas this guy was saying, look, artificial intelligence is essentially an extension of us. We've created it, and to restrict it would be like restricting us. So we might as well allow it to flourish and focus more on how humanity can interact with it, humanity's part involving moving forward with it. And so Elon's like, well, wait, no, we need to make sure we need to prioritize protocols in place that will become enacted, if and when AI goes rogue, or there is some sort of emerging threat that is greater, or at least reaches some sort of a predetermined metric. And without that, it's a free-for-all. So that is what prompted Elon to basically proclaim himself Team Humanity. He has said that on multiple occasions. We're not putting words in the man's mouth. Now, whether or not we believe he is Team Humanity is beside the point. What we know is he's an extremely successful individual. He is widely different from the average Joe. Very intelligent, complex, and potentially shared the same bunkhouse in Interstellar Space College as yours truly. So, other than those little factoids, nodes of truth. Shout out to one of our favorite podcasts, The Belief Hole. The Belief Hole. Three brothers. If you're interested in conspiracy, paranormal, especially paranormal, they are out of Ohio, and they are a riot. They do a very great job being in depth with their coverage of stories you may or may not have heard about, phenomenons, goings-ons in the spirit realm, and actual conspiracy theories related to Benjamin Franklin and the Illuminati, etc. That's The Belief Hole. Give them a follow, subscribe after you give them a listen, and tell them Damn Cam of Damn Talk sent you. We actually sent them a book recently by a little-known individual who goes by Bill, not Bill Wilson, and he wrote a book, The Pale Horse, full of extremely interesting things that will most definitely come to light now with the emergence of AI. Why do we say that? Because it all loops back into itself when one considers that the programmers of AI will ultimately be able to write what constitutes history. That is a scary prospect, people. Let's talk about it. That damn talkspot.locals.com, THATDAAMNTALKSPOT.LOCALS.com. Locals.com is free, and it's free to join that damn Talkspot. So what are you waiting for? If you want to get at us and join the talk, it's as little as $3 a month. It will go up. However, next month we are going to release the official high-quality audio, maybe video, but definitely high-quality audio podcast. And that is going to be one damn worthy broadcast only at locals.com. All right, as always, try giving a damn. All right. Well, it's day 2, heading to Hotto's. What is Hotto's? Hotto's is what we call the job that we're doing. In fact, we don't even have to close the gate today. And here in the Hove, kind of rhymes, we're going to Hotto's in the Hove. Sort of rhymes, any damn way. Yeah, why it is, how it do, what it does. Damn cam here, it is March 24th. At least that's what we think it is. Let's find out for sure. It is Palm Sunday. And that is March 24th, 2024. That's 32424. And essentially, we had quite a mixed bag of a day yesterday. Well, for those of you who saw the vlog from yesterday, there was a few tidbits of juicy node-like truth in that. There was also a little bit of a lack of sustenance when it comes to pre-planned or priorly thought out concepts. So, to alleviate any further struggling through or skipping of the video, hopefully we will make this short and sweet. Essentially, we are extremely blessed to have a best friend and a dad in the same person. And it hasn't always been like that. We've always been close to our father, but we didn't always get along. And even when we didn't get along, we were close, for sure. There's a lot of interesting history that is resurfaced now with the clarity that comes from not actively using dope or drinking for years at a time. Now it's interesting how pieces of the past's puzzle seem to fit together in such a way that either they didn't before or we just weren't able to find the right place for them. And now we see where they go, and it's a lot, it's definitely discovery. And in recovery, what we're discovering is that not everything or everyone in our life necessarily belongs there. And in order to get rid of the weight, to drop the rock, right? Rather than choosing to carry around this heavy boulder of a resentment, we can choose to do everything in our power to let it go. That is a choice that we can do. Now, obviously, that seems desirable, and why wouldn't we want to do that? Well, it's not that we don't want to do that. It's that, like we said before, resentment is one of those things that doesn't discriminate, and you can't necessarily subscribe. If it wants you, it'll get you. And if somebody took their thorn and stuck it in your craw or whatever, then you can't just pretend it's not there. It's not how it works. What we can do is address it and attempt to squash it, which we are absolutely in the process of doing. We just, I suppose, wanted to quickly note that it is incredible to be so close with our dad, to the point that, we're sitting there playing a cribbage game yesterday, and then we start talking about some serious subject matter, and we set the cards down and we go back and forth, and it gets heated for sure, because it's extremely emotionally tolling, and it is involving feelings that have been solidified in certainty throughout multiple actions and behavioral patterns. Ultimately, we were proud of ourselves and our dad for being able to compose ourselves enough to have that conversation and then set it down and pick the cards back up and continue playing the hand. Now, sure, we both admitted we didn't even remember throwing cards into the crib that hand, but the point is we were both present, and even though when it started to get real and difficult and uncomfortable, what I wanted to do was run. I wanted to not be a part of that because it didn't feel good, right? Well, that's not gonna help at all. And facing it head on, going through the adversity, is how you come out the other side. We don't know about you, but when we're going through hell, we don't want to stop and smell the sulfur. You know, we're gonna keep going through hell until we come out the other side. And that is what we believe fortitude means, and spiritual fortitude. Absolutely. Day at a time. And we will. And on the usual note, try giving a damn. See, I'm the type that might go on and shave my brows so I don't have to put a smile on to make you frown. I fight around my Christmas tree in the middle of July with no company, and I will fly my flag in my basement high, watching the microwave like a TV guide. Oh, is that a nose hair shot? Probably. So, we just went to go post this random goofy video on Facebook, and the first thing that was there, because we don't usually scroll, by usually we mean ever, Facebook. In fact, we don't really even look up people. It's basically, we just use it to kind of vlog and keep a presence for our passions, which is both damn talk and inside out. Any damn way. First top post that was there and we happened to see was, it's kind of funny because it was our aunt, and Auntie Karen has been on our mind lately quite a bit because we just sort of baffled. We thought maybe revisiting the situation that sparked her blocking us was appropriate, and after doing so, we realized why we were A, so upset and hurt by what she said, and B, why we felt so justified in saying, no, you can't talk to us like that, and you need to apologize. And she didn't want to have that. So anyway, it's just funny to see a picture of my sister and her, and the top comment that I saw, because, you know, it listed, and it's just two awesome people, and I'm like, that's funny. I see one wink, you know, because it's like, I love my aunt. I mean, it's just weird to me. The whole thing is weird, especially when considering, like, she said she doesn't ever want to be in the same room with me. She called me nothing but a sponge on my mother, her sister, and then blocked us. But then Christmas came and other family was in town, and we were doing a Christmas Eve celebration. We brought our daughter, our partner, and Auntie Karen didn't want to come, so she went on Christmas morning, I guess, instead. But she did bring a very expensive, extremely unique gift, and that is a very old street sign on the street that we live on right here. I guess technically we're not owning this home because she pointed out, you know, she's a homeowner, so we live here on Bamboo, and we have a mortgage we're paying, so technically we don't own it yet, though we treat it like we do, that's for sure. It's just very saddening. And now with everything happening in 2024, you know, clarity, insight, critical thinking, and essentially really addressing resentment head on so we can tackle it and get over it and make our ohana stronger. And that's not going to happen by behaving like anything like Auntie Karen has. So we're just baffled by the self-righteousness of her behavior, I guess, is one way to put it. We've only resorted to posting the video of our altercation when we had no other recourse to get a hold of her because she had blocked our phone number, blocked us on Messenger. It was a whole big thing. And, you know, we really used to be close to our aunt, and thus we valued her opinion. And when she laid into us like that, we had to wonder why she didn't pull us aside and have that conversation before. You know, we moved here on Thanksgiving Day of 2021 here to Hawaii. And so she had every opportunity between then and when she blew up at us at my parents' home there. Well, my mother was away and I was spending some quality time with my dad, and she just shows up, you know. You could unlock the door for me. It's like, I didn't even know you were here, you know. And so I go and lock the door, and just, anyway, we're not going to beat that horse at all. But we will finish this by saying, yes, okay, we love you, Auntie, and let's squash the shit. We're squashing the shit with your sister, and that's my mother. We are working on all of our relationships and who we keep in our life, in our circle. And you were someone forever that we always wanted in that circle, and we were pretty taken aback, though we also understood because we'd led quite the chaotic, selfish, destructive life. And, you know, whether that was the disease of addiction or not doesn't make it any less real. And we know that. Our uncle, our different uncle, he's finally coming around and kind of giving us a second chance, at least in person, you know, like we wronged him for sure, and we did our best to make amends, and we absolutely violated his space, you know. And that's what the disease did to us. Is you were our family, it didn't matter if you were our friend. If we were under the active influence of those, what is our demon, then we would steal from you, you know. And we didn't steal, it doesn't matter what we stole, you know. It ended up being a multivitamin or some sort of thing that he didn't have that many of, and we thought maybe it was a Percocet, you know, like, stupid. My aunt is in the same boat. I mean, we got drunk once, and I guess, no, there's no I guess. We ransacked her room looking for, I guess, more alcohol or weed, or we ended up getting weed and smoking her weed. But that, I mean, it was so awful. And partial blackout, getting in a fight with our father that same time, and really awful things. Just, and by the grace of God, like, we don't live like that anymore. So, you know, Auntie, you haven't seen us for a long, long time, and I wish you would give me the opportunity to demonstrate to you that I am not that boy that I was, and that having children has done something to me as much as putting down the dope and the alcohol has. And we're in our 4th year now away from that. And, you know, we want to talk about philosophy. We want to talk about ethics, right and wrong. And we hold the truth above all else. And we've made major breakthroughs as to why that is, fundamentally within our own psyche, why it is we have steadfastly had this yearning to firstly ask why, to know why am I here? Why is this? Why is it? Or why it is, rather. And hand in hand with that is trying to determine and decipher what it is that leads our conscience. What is our conscience? What is the, like, if this is my conscience, here's my auntie's conscience, where's that circle in the middle where we have common conscience? Common consciousness. No, it's not consciousness. It is. It's common conscience. And I would say that if that isn't anywhere to be found, then that is a coexistence that won't work. That's true. It won't work. And also, why try and make it? But if there is some sort of not things in common, that's not what we mean. What we mean is a fundamental foundational belief, ethically, morally, philosophically. Essentially, philosophy is it. One's way of perceiving, believing, and acting life. Let's talk about it. That damn talkspot.locals.com.
Go away.
Really? Go away.
Go somewhere else. Just a sponge.
What's the sponge?
You.
Really?
You're a sponge.
I'm a sponge.
You're a sponge or my sister.
Door's open. Can you close that? Sure. Oh, actually, the door's not even open. But no, I wouldn't have anyone talk like that. Hey, what's up? What's up? What is up? Well, there's a lot that's up. I'll tell you what is not up. No, we won't either. We're gonna tell you what is up. We're gonna tell you why it is. Do we ever actually tell anybody why it is? I think what we try and do is address why certain things are. And that's what we'll do with or without the help of this little broadcasting system in the 21st century. Yeah, so it's interesting looking back. Like, we watched a video from 4 years ago yesterday or the day before, and to look and be like, wow, that's what happened 4 years ago today is quite an interesting deal. You know, people can journal, some people can vlog. Ultimately, if you've been through as much life as we have, it doesn't hurt to have some sort of a video documentation of your own thoughts, ideas, beliefs, etc., especially when they're brought into question, like they have been multiple times in the recent past. Not extremely recent, but, you know, mainly we are looking forward to actually producing a show, and that is, it has been projected to come out next month, April, and that's just like a timeline we set on ourselves, and we are going to hold true to it. We feel like January 29th soft launch was a disaster. It was a great time. Definitely enjoyed the conversation. The things we talked about were extremely important, but, you know, the quality was definitely nowhere near where it should have been. And moving from the severity of the content we were discussing, both illegal aliens and space aliens, or ETs, if you will. They may not be from outer space. They may be from inner Earth. They may be from another dimension. We are not sure, but we are open to the prospect that it could be either or neither. So what we are going to be moving forward in what is ultimately the second official episode of Don't Just Obey, it will be much lower key with one less guest, because we had problems with the Zoom, the microphones, all that was just very hectic. So we're going to have one less guest, and we're going to be discussing something that is a little softer on the ear, a little softer on the mind in a lot of ways, and in a lot of ways as well, it's going to be just as deep and just as serious as the influx of illegal aliens coming into this country. We are going to be discussing the philosophy. What is philosophy? Who are some of our favorite philosophers? And what is it that we have grappled with along the way that is really made that short list of things we know to be true. There have been many journeys and a lot of quests. As many quests as questions. Not quite, but if something gets hold of us, we have to wrestle with it until we understand it, at least to the extent that we are able to let it go. As we said before, sometimes we don't choose when that is, and ideas and concepts, philosophies, can grab hold and take root just as firmly and well as anything else. Any other perversions, preconceived notions, ideas or premises one has, prejudgments, stereotyping, the whole 9 yards. So, when will this be? Well, it might be on April 20th. We're not sure. Stay tuned. April 20th is going to be the launch. Episode 2, Don't Just Obey. Damn Cam and the Philosopher's Stoned.